Hello, Dr. Debbie Morris here, and I wanted to show you how to set up your gradebook and how the gradebook works in Canvas. There are a lot of things that you can do in the gradebook, and you may need help from your course director, but knowing how to be self-sufficient is always good. So I'm in our little course here, the PHA Fac Staff course, and I am initially going to start on the assignments page. So when I click on the assignments page, I see that there's one assignment. It's a quiz. It hasn't been published yet. But I have decided for my course that I would like to make quizzes worth 50% of the grade and have 2 exams that are each worth 25% of the grade. So how do I do that? Well, first, notice that there is a group here. This group is called assignments, and we could add assignments to it. I might come up with a second quiz. And I'm just going to save that for now. I will later have to build this quiz, but it's in here. But I also said that I'm going to give 2 exams. So I'm going to make a group that's called exams. And I'm going to save that. And now I have a new tab. And I told you that I'm going to make 2 exams. We'll make a midterm and save that. And we'll make a final exam and save that. So now I have some assignments and I have some exams. And I said that I was going to make the quizzes worth 50% of the grade. Well, how am I going to do that? I'm going to weigh that assignment group. So when I come in here to these 3 dots, I get a drop-down menu, Assignment Groups Weight. And this is going to help Canvas assess my grades in the gradebook and assign and calculate grades. So I said that the assignments are going to be worth 50%. The assignments being quizzes. I might decide to have 10 quizzes at the end. However many quizzes I have, they'll be worth 50%. And I have those 2 exams. I'm going to weigh them equally. So just in one exam room, exams are now worth 50%. Each of those 2 exams is 25% of the grade. And when I hit save, what I'm going to have now in grades will look like this. We have 2 quizzes, and we will add quizzes and have as many quizzes as we want. We have a midterm exam and a final exam. And the people in this course are all teachers, not students. But in your course, you'll have here a list of students. And as they take the quizzes, their grades will populate. The midterm and final exams, you're going to have to enter grades. But ultimately, you will have a grade calculated. Let me show you that in a course. I'm going to go to my physiology course. And when I click on grades here, I have all of the assignments that I gave and made in assignment folders. And then I have my exams, exam 1, 2, 3, and final exam. They're out of order. Notice that I entered grades. And to enter grades, you just click on it and then hit return. When we're doing exams in ExamSoft, we have to enter the grades here. And just as a point of interest, all grades are entered to the 2nd decimal spot. The if we were to go back to the course and look in the assignments folders, what you'll see here is that my assignments and homework account for 15% of the total grade, and I'm going to come back to the rule. The final exam accounts for 30% of the grade. Exams 2 and 3 each account for 20, so that's 40% of the total. And I made my first exam more lightly weighted, so that was 15% of the total. There are a couple of other things here that don't count at all, so they show up in the grade book. I should take them out, but for now, it's only the ones that have a total. If I wanted to change those totals, I could hit on assignment group weights and change my weights as long as it adds up to 100%. Now, this rule is interesting. I have a whole bunch of homework assignments. So what I do is I make a rule to drop the lowest grade. So in order to do that, to drop one of the courses, we go to these 3 dots in the group and we hit edit. And here is again where we assigned the percentage for the group, but here we are allowed to ignore scores for each student. And I'm choosing to ignore the lowest 1 score or drop 1 score. You could also add an assignment here as well as adding it with the plus. Other things that are helpful here are to notice that you can publish or unpublish. So suppose I decided to give a quiz, and I don't think there's actually a quiz here. Let's look. There is a name and points, but it is not. There are no questions. If we edited this or built the quiz and put questions in, then it would remain unpublished until we hit this green button. Students won't be able to see it until we publish it. And since this is actually not in the course, I'm going to delete it. Now, I'm going to go to another course to show you some other things. Now I'm in my neurology course in assignments. So this is a course that hasn't happened yet. This is a course coming up this semester. And in this course, I have a few things. I have some assignments, and the assignments count for 10% of the total grade. I have 3 exams that account for 90% of the total grade. And if you notice, I'm going to unchoose these buttons. If I wanted, I could edit, and as I did before, choose to drop a score or not, but I'm not going to do that in this course. I'm going to leave those assignments. But at the moment, everything is unpublished. And if I were to look at the grade book, I'd see that all the students are here and all of the assignments are unpublished. And when an assignment's unpublished, I can't do anything to it. I could click here, but whatever I type isn't going to happen. So in order to make it happen, I need to go back to my Assignments tab, and I need to publish Exam 1. All right. And once that's done, do I need to save? Nope, it's published. If I go back to the grade book, at this point, Exam 1 now looks different. It allows 100 points, and it'll allow grade entry. So I could type in a grade here for Mr. Bonner. I'm not going to do that because when I do that, he's going to get an email that says he's been graded. And I wanted to show you something relatively important. When I enter grades, I prefer to enter them all and check them before I release them to the students. And here on these 3 dots, I have something called a grade posting policy. If the grades are posted automatically, anytime I put in a grade, any additional information, the student will be notified. But I prefer to do it manually. And what that means is that when I enter grades, they'll be saved, but they're hidden from the student. Which means now, if I were to type in a grade for Mr. Bonner and hit enter, and type a grade for Miss Bronk and hit enter, that they aren't getting that information. They would get that information if I went back to the 3 dots and hit post grade. So that's just a useful little tool. But remember, you can't even enter the grades until the assignment is published. So something to notice here is that if the grades are entered and they're hidden, which is shown by this little crossed out eyeball, the grade column over here where their grade is calculated is also hidden. So if you don't want your students compulsively checking their course grade, you can hide grades. We often do that at the end of the course when we are entering final grades but are not ready to release grades to the students. We'll hide them here. Their average will be hidden. And at the time that we choose to release the grades, we go back to the 3 dots and hit post grades. So I hope this helps you with using the assignments page in the Gradebook. And please check in with your course director if you have questions or if you need help.